If you've ever wondered what would happen if you crossed Superbad with Left Behind, have I got a movie for you. This Is the End is an apocalyptic comedy starring Seth Rogan, Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Jonah Hill, and many of their friends, dealing with what appears to be the rapture and the ongoing end of the world. Now, the main twist here is that each of them is apparently playing themselves, or at least a somewhat fictionalized version of themselves. It's a conceit that actually works really well to ground the movie's main point about self-centeredness and delusion and the power of true self-sacrifice. The movie follows our group of friends after all the good people are raptured, and they try to figure out why they weren't and how to escape the demons and depravity of the burning Hollywood hills. Though I'm tempted to say the humor is the best thing about This Is the End, because in a year really full of unfunny comedies, much of it was genuinely hilarious, I'm actually going to have to point out Jay Baruchel as the highlight. Now, Baruchel is arguably the least known of the lead group of the self-portrayed bunch. If you knew him at all, it's probably from Disney's live-action Sorcerer's Apprentice, or maybe the voice of Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon, great movie. But right from the start, his demeanor and relationship with Seth Rogan add an interesting credibility to what's going on in this film. Now, I say interesting because the movie is obviously over-the-top satire, but he makes it feel so real. His performance gives the message of the satire just the stickiness it needs to land and stay with you after all the cringe humor and demon genitalia jokes have faded away. Speaking of which, the worst thing of this movie is just too crude. Now, generally, I wouldn't make a point of this in a movie done by the same guys who brought you Superbad and Pineapple Express. You kind of know what you're getting into when you see that Seth Rogan wrote a movie. By the way, he also directed this one with his writing partner Evan Goldberg. Acquitted himself quite nicely, especially for a debut movie. But there's something about the setting of the depravity of the end of days that kind of gave Rogan and Goldberg free rein to get as graphic and over the top as they saw fit. Now, for the most part, an audience will forgive this for humor's sake, but these moments of the film seem the most unfunny and distracting parts of the story as a whole. The main thing about This Is the End? It's a genuinely funny satire with a surprising amount of heart and a clever premise that's occasionally castrated by the need to wallow in its depravity. I give it a solid B-.